You know, when you watch a movie or a TV series and it starts off by saying based on a true story or based on real life, and if that content piece is really moving and if that content piece is really well made, you can't really help but wonder what that must have been for those characters, how cruel that must have been for these characters, and kudos to them that they survived that. And I personally have those kind of feelings every time I see any piece of content where it says based on true story or based on real life. But this time around, this series, Baby Reindeer, it really moved me. There are some piece of content after it's finished you think, God, that was something. I mean, you kind of sit with it, you think about it, and it kind of pains you thinking about it. And recently I watched a Malayalam movie named as Adu Jeevitham. It had the same effect on me, and now after watching Baby Reindeer, I'm having the same effect here. And in the coming days, I can assure you, you will hear a lot about this series, a lot about the performances, a lot about the subject matter that they touched upon in this series. If you have not heard about it already, you will definitely hear about it in the coming days. And before I touch upon the story of this series, I really want to talk about this guy. He is the main lead in this series, and whatever happens in this series is actually based on his own life. Then he went ahead and made this entire series on Netflix. So the story of this series centers around a guy who is a comedian but has not made it, and he actually works at a bar, and then a girl walks in and he kind of feels sympathy for her, and then he actually offers her a drink on the house and all those things. But the main thing was that he felt sympathy for her, but the way that same person actually starts developing feelings for this guy, and then she becomes a stalker. This series actually starts off with the girl actually being a stalker to this guy, and the series actually starts off with this thing of this stalking, but then it gradually turns into abuse, sexual abuse actually, and then at the later half it actually mixes this all things, the stalking, recognizing your gender, sexual abuse, all those things wraps into one big bowl of sadness, one big bowl of intense cruelness to our characters. But it is not like only the story of the series was quite gripping, but the way it was made was also very powerful. Every time you'll feel a airy feeling, every time you'll feel tense emotions, every time you'll feel unsafe, quite vulnerable when you're watching it, and you can't just help but wonder, man, that has happened with a real person. I mean, how twisted and effed up that is. It really makes you think like that. And don't worry, I've not given any spoilers. This is just the basic plot of the movie, and this is just the gist of what you are going to see in this series. Usually you see a boy stalking a girl, but this time around a girl was stalking actually a main guy. So you kind of feel a bit more, different. I mean, this is something that you don't see quite often, but then again, as I said, it's happened to a real person. So it again shifts the attention to that particular thing even more. Now I want to talk about Jessica Gunning, the actor who played the role of the stalker. She was a menace. She literally was a menace. Even the way she was showing affection to our main character, it really felt creepy, and you can feel that, boundaries have been crossed. But yeah, Jessica Gunning's performance was amazing. Amazing. Everything that she did was just amazing. But now let's talk about our main guy, Richard Gadd. His performance was truly sensational. When you're watching the series, you will really think, God, this is a very bold and a very courageous role that this actor has actually stepped into. But then when you realize, man, this is his life. This is actually his story. And then you realize, man, he was not acting. He was actually reliving those moments that has happened with him. And there's a particular scene which happens in the later episodes where he kind of confesses, kind of breaks down. That entire scene will just shake you up. It will just shake you up. So yeah, basically the entire series was quite tense, quite thrilling as well, a bit unnerving at times. A lot of nerves were actually unnerved at certain points in the story. But yeah, it was one of those disturbing stories that you see in movies or TV shows. And the series actually has 7 episodes, but the episode lengths are quite short, like around 30 minutes. Only one episode is longer. It's about 40-45 minutes. Only one episode is that long, but all the other episodes are about 30 minutes long, and it's only 7 episodes. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about in this video, and you can check out some of the videos on my channel as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching.